boring, ugly, terrible to look at. And then I've got the Joy-Cons. So what are we gonna do about it? We're gonna keep the blue here. We're going to get rid of the black casings. We're gonna replace the buttons. And how are we gonna do that? Well, we're gonna be doing it with ExtremeRate's shell swap kit. This can be easy. It can be a 3 out of 5 difficulty, or it can be a 4 out of 5 difficulty. I did it a little bit lazier, and the lazier option does equal higher risk of something breaking. So don't consider this a tutorial. Just hang out and see what the outcome looks like at the end. I'm Fuji, and for more tech-related, video game-related, nerdy content, travel content, stay tuned, stay subscribed.
Sorry about that, I was feeling Lynchian. Let's take a look at the ExtremeRate kit. Let's pop into it. So right off the bat, we've got these beautiful, transparent purple Joy-Cons. They gave us screwdrivers. They gave us the buttons that we need. They also gave us transparent buttons, but we're not going to use those. And then we have instructions as well. So let's break into the screwdrivers and find out how to tear this thing apart. There's a screw up here and a screw down here. We're going to start off with blue because I don't like the color as much. Taking this screwdriver, we're going to take off the top screw and the bottom screw, making sure to keep it organized so we don't lose any of them. Then we're going to take the prying wedge and take off this plastic rimming piece. Now the best way I find to rim is to put your thing right in between the trigger and peel it off. Make sure to get rid of any double-sided tape, then you can pull the screws out. Use the pry once again and go around the edge of the back of the Joy-Con and it should pop right off. Then I also use the wedge to pull off the rumble pack system, and that's half of the job done pretty much just right there. There's a middle plastic frame here, and we're probably not going to use it because it's too much work. I don't feel like doing it. Now we just take the wedge again and then pop off the trigger pieces and pull out every screw, and there's like 20 of them, so make sure you keep them somewhat organized. Now at this point you can pull ribbon cables. This is where I was telling you I was a bit lazy. I'm not going to do that. So I'm actually going to shove the screwdriver in and hope I don't knock anything. And sure enough, it worked and I was able to get the top plate off. So now I can switch over to the transparent kit, and that's where we add the buttons, make sure that they're in the right order when we're putting them in, which is relatively easy because each of the shapes have like a specific way that they go in. Best case, you can get top and bottom mixed up, but you won't get like a side piece mixed up. The home button, I was thinking of making black, but then I thought, let's keep it transparent. Alright, now we're putting everything back together one screw at a time, and let me tell you, this is probably the hardest part of this whole build, is just keeping track of all these screws. I'm also not going to replace the top here because I like the blue so much more. I really think it pops and it matches the buttons so much more, so much more. Yeah, I think this looks good so far. I'm going to go ahead and put the transparent triggers on. That's the right bumper, or I guess the left bumper, and the left trigger. This part was a little hard because I had to angle it in such a way to keep the spring in. And then this is the magnetic release portion. I can't even explain how annoying this piece is. On the original Joy-Con, the metal hinge that it's on doesn't move. And in the ExtremeRate one, it does move. So you keep losing the metal piece. It's kind of annoying. Once the triggers are back in, you go ahead and you put the piece in. And you can see I'm having difficulties with that metal hinge. And we pop everything back into the place. Make sure that it turns on before we put the final screws in. Then we put some new double-sided tape on. We seal up the edge. And that's it. You're done. Now, I tested all the buttons to make sure everything felt good and nothing was stiff. And we did really good. For anybody who's interested, here's the whole right Joy-Con, but 150 times speed. Now, this one I actually had a lot more difficulty with because my lazy technique caused me to disconnect a ribbon and the mouse feature and the lights stopped working. So I had to tear it down again and then go back into it and get it to work, and I didn't get any of the button. I messed this one up, but I was able to fix it anyway, and it works good now, like 99%.
Boy. So what did you think? Was the shell swap easy? Did it look good? Let's take a closer look. I've been using it on my Switch as of late, and you know what? First off, I got this clear case. This isn't non-spawn or anything, but this clear case has like joy grip, which is nice, and you can see through it. So let's take a closer look at the shell swaps and see how they look, mistakes, and maybe things I would change in the future. Just the exterior here. Very clean, very nice, and I like that we kept the color at the top. I think it makes a big difference. It's more aesthetic to look at. We made a couple changes, obviously. So I kept this rail instead of having the purple transparent one. I thought that these looked nicer. I do feel better for keeping them that way. A second change that I made that I thought was pretty good is not replacing the black center frame in the middle. It literally takes up no space, and it's sat on by a battery anyway, so it's gonna look that black anyway, and that would have added so much more work to the job. Mistakes that I made along the way: the B button and the up button are on the wrong sides. The second mistake that I made is that if you look, let's try to do a macro here. If you look in there, I'll point it out with a CG arrow, but you'll see that the rubber button device there is squared off. That means that this button clicks really smooth, really nice. And this one, you'll see that it's just a tad off center. See that there? Though it doesn't stop the initial button press from going in, there's a little bit of a firmer press back. So it's not getting hung up. If I press plus in a rush, it's gonna pick up that input, but it does feel a little stiffer than normal. Thank you, everybody. I've been your host, M. Fuji, and next week you can expect another fun video about something. I haven't thought about it yet, but we're gonna think about it together. So stay tuned, stay subscribed, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Hey, subscribe. Hey, you know, subscribe.
Please.